Many Americans nowadays, also known as
Leftist. You have leftist values. Are you not conservative? You're not American, inherently. So, I've been gone from Twitch and did YouTube for a bit. Honestly, just feeling really tired today. I was supposed to record a YouTube video and stuff and kind of get back into the swing of things, and I just had no energy to do so. So I decided I'll jump on here on Twitch. Yeah, let's just like get right into it, shall we?
Hello, Classic Crew, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about 5 ways to be a real American this July 4th. If you are new to my channel, here we talk about classic living.
Hey, so we're not doing an ad for you, lady. Okay, first of all, if any of you know who Abby Shapiro is, you probably know who Ben Shapiro is. Both of them are very conservative. So off the bat watching this, I can't help but like, so there are a lot of like, there's like a, oh, what is it? It's like a naval cooking channel. I'm not gonna look for it now, but there are channels that'll show you how to like make like butter the traditional way and a bunch of other fun like ye olde living style way of doing things. That's not what she's doing here. What she is doing is advocating for honestly a social system that is detrimental to people. So, you know, when I say that I don't personally appreciate this nonsense, I really mean it. I don't think any of this is going to work. Like works out in a functioning society in 2022. But, who am I to argue? Roe v. Wade only got overturned like last week. Or was that 2 weeks ago? God, time is a flat circle. Anyway, let's give her a chance to talk a little bit.
Today's video, I want to talk about how you can celebrate this July 4th as a real American. So what do I mean when I say a real American?
Ooh, tell me.
Well, many of my subscribers are American citizens, but being an American citizen doesn't actually mean that you are a true American in the sense that...
So this is something that I've noticed, especially when talking with conservatives, is you'll notice that they do a lot of this. It's constant. Yeah, I mean, what they seem to do a lot, and what really bugs the shit out of me, is when it comes to conservative values and conservative politics, all of it always comes down to building the next layer of the wall, to say. In the sense that it's not enough to be American. Like, first of all, it's not enough to be human. Then it's not enough to be just an American. You know, even if you're born here, suddenly now, like, you know, you ask conservatives 10 years ago, they would say, oh, well, we don't like illegal immigration because it's going against the system. You know, you're breaking kind of the rules to be part of the society. You know, we just want people to follow the rules. The good immigrants are totally fine. But look what they've done here. Now, if you're an immigrant or if you're born here, it's not enough for them for you to just be born here and be an American citizen in the legal way. This is what I mean. Each time they'll keep backing it up until eventually it comes down to, oh, you might be a real American, but you don't live in my neighborhood, or you don't live in my state, let's say. Then they'll back it up a little bit farther, and it'll be, oh, well, you don't live in my county. Then it will be, you don't live in my neighborhood. Then it's, you're not in my family. And then eventually it gets down to, you're not me. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. That's what this system breaks down to, is people warding off and making sure that they are not responsible or even part of a society that they don't feel like being a part of and that they don't see as similar to them at the end of the day. Like, there's always another layer that they will back up to justify keeping people out. It's why conservative politics is all about distinguishing who's in the in group and who's in the out group. Just want to keep that in mind as we kind of watch the rest of this.
That you love this country and you appreciate what it stands for. Many Americans nowadays, also known as leftists, want to tear down this...
Ooh, love that. Just love that. You can't be an American if you're a leftist. And, you know, these are the people who will sit here and complain when they're called racist and sexist and homophobic and everything else because, oh, how dare you call me, you know, if you're Jordan Peterson, how dare you call me a racist or a sexist? But yeah, these are the same people. So I mean, you know, you're not. Do you have leftist values? Are you not conservative? You're not American inherently.
This country, and they think that that is patriotic. They think that patriotism means tearing down the basis that this country is built on, which is what makes it so amazing. The foundations of America are what make it such a beautiful and wonderful country. So today I want to talk about 5 ways that you can celebrate.
I'm not even sure what that means. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not at all sure what that means. Like what did she say? Go back. Oh, 1 second.
Leftists want to tear down this country, and they think that that is patriotic. They think that
Okay, so I think that tearing down the country. Okay, I'm assuming that tearing down is going to be a replacement for critiquing the country, even though their entire, like, the right-wing movement right now is all about, like, critiquing America because it's too far left. But of course, as usual, when they critique stuff, it's you know, when they critique things, they're being American. When we critique things, it's un-American. That's just, I like the things that I like. I don't like the things I don't like.
what this country stands for and the foundations on which it was built are incredible things.
So she seems to be drawing this line of what America was built on and the foundations that you shouldn't apologize for those things. So, which I really find funny because I know what she's talking about. She's talking about, like, hey, slavery was an institution at the founding of this country. You don't need to apologize for slavery. That is what she is saying. And to that, I would say, I don't know, Abby. I kind of feel like, you know, we did a lot, you know, the founding documents and the founding arguments of this country are fairly commendable. There are things about freedom of speech. Funny enough, almost all of the good things are all liberal values, not conservative values, but all of them stem from pretty good, at least in my opinion, formats for society. But as with almost everything, there are things we missed, and slavery was one of them. And I think America recognizing that, hey, we might have, you know, we had the Bill of Rights. We'll say that's 10 good things, by we had slavery out of, you know, so 10 out of 11, that's not bad, but maybe we should kind of fix that 11th one, which we ended up doing by by heading down into the South after they decided to coup and fuck their shit up. So
live in a country that was built on freedom and liberty. And even though there are things in our past that we're not proud of, we can say that this country and what it was trying to accomplish, we are proud of. So I think it's...
I don't think anybody says that they're not proud of America because we had slavery. People are really more upset with the fact that there are people, especially on the right, who want to pretend that slavery didn't exist because, I don't know, it makes them feel awkward because they can't handle a basic critique of American history. I'd say this is pretty obvious stuff. I mean, if, you know, America did have slavery for quite a long time after its conception, so it's kind of just kind of part of the whole soup, you know?
It's really important that we stop apologizing for America. America is not a bad place to live. It's not a bad country. It's an incredible place to live. It's an incredible country. And I'm done apologizing for it. If you think that...
I'm not sure what the apology she's speaking... Like, this is what I mean. They say, like, stop apologizing for America. Hello, River. Okay, goodbye. They say stop apologizing for America. But they don't ever really want to, like, say what exactly it is they're talking about. They just say, oh, you shouldn't apologize for America. Does that mean we shouldn't apologize for Japanese internment camps? For, oh, I don't know, trying to invade, like, you know, the invasion of Iraq? Like what exactly, what? We can never admit our faults? Can you imagine the absurdity? These are the same people. These are the exact same people. I want everyone to understand here. These are these same people who consistently say that for individuals, it's all about personal responsibility. You know what I'd like? I'd like America to have a value of personal responsibility. So when we do fuck shit, we admit to it, we accept it, and we move on. But we can't ever do that without accepting that and without admitting that. So, fucking absurd that this is the party of people who claim to care about personal responsibility. If you cared about personal responsibility, you would want the US to recognize and understand all of its faults. But, you know, these people don't, obviously.
Loving your country, being patriotic for your country, means that you're ignoring any of the problems it might have had, then you're wrong. You can love something and say, I'm really proud to be an American, without constantly having to sit there and apologize for the problems that it has had and that it currently has.
So, again, it's like you say constantly, you know, if you guys would just shut the fuck up and, like, accept some of the faults that we have, we could all get past this. If these people, you know, the conservatives who refuse to get vaccinated, just like, you know, do the simple thing of getting vaccinated in the beginning really quickly, this could have been done, bing, bang, boom, we're done with COVID. But what did they do? They wanted to bitch, they wanted to moan, they wanted to complain, and constantly whine about it. So what happened? We're still living with COVID that's happening to this day. So, you know, and another variant I heard has come out. So, of course.
The fact that we are constantly having to apologize alongside being proud of something is ridiculous. Number 2 is shooting. Celebrate the Second Amendment. We are very blessed to live in a country that arms its citizens.
Okay, so Second Amendment, Jesus. Okay, I'm just gonna say this very bluntly. People who like guns, gun owners, be less cringe. That's all. That's all you have to do. I don't care if you go to the range. I don't care if you enjoy shooting. I don't care if you like building you like building custom builds of fucking Glocks and 19. I don't care. I don't care. And guess what? Nobody on the left fucking cares. If your hobby is like if your hobby is marksmanship, that's fine. If your hobby is the engineering and like building of your firearms, have at it. I don't give a fuck. But it does not make you a real or more American to own or fire weapons. It's just not. It's not part of the the DNA of being an American. Unless you think that owning a gun is somehow more American, like somehow somebody in Idaho who owns a fucking rifle is somehow like different from the guy in like Switzerland who owns that exact same rifle. Like it's absurd. Like your guys' obsession with the Second Amendment, cringe as all hell. You all cringe at people who enjoy soccer a lot. You all cringe at people who enjoy, God, I don't know, frisbee golf, whatever it is, mini golf, regular golf. Everyone has their hobbies. Just don't be cringe about it. Understand that all of you Second Amendment folks who constantly talk about how America you are because you own guns and you shoot guns and like the Second Amendment and your right to protect yourself, you're cringe. You are fucking cringe. Just understand that. Like it's cringy. You're no different than the person who's way too obsessed with like their like personal hobby and they think somehow that they're better than everybody because they know a lot about a topic. All right, trust me, you all don't know a lot about a lot of topics, so chill the fuck out.
The fact that we are able to have that Second Amendment to own guns so that the government isn't the only one with those weapons is an amazing thing.
I just want I really need Abby Shapiro to put a fucking like Springfield rifle in the background.
If you want to hear more about this, actually, I would recommend checking out JP Sears' channel. He recently did a video where he apologized for previously being in favor of gun control and now being pro-gun. And I think he really described...
Whoa. I thought we weren't apologizing, Abby. Whoa. Sheesh.
why it's so important that we as citizens have access to weapons. But also, outside of the really practical reasons why we should have guns.
I love how people who claim to be pro-life are like, we as citizens have the right to weapons. And then you ask them, okay, do you have a right to, like, not die of cancer? And they'll be like, well, I don't know about that. Like, look, then you have to force a doctor. And meanwhile, I'm like, wait, you're supposed to be pro-life? But, what can I say?
Guns, why citizens need to be armed, which again, check out his video on that. I'll link it in the description box below. It's really, really good. Shooting.
Do you think Ben and Abby go to the range together? I don't think they do. I feel like Ben Shapiro has never held a gun in his life. Or like there's almost no chance, right? Like there's like I don't know. Tell me, I don't know. Is he I'm going to make the bold assumption. Whoa. I'm going to make the bold assumption that he's never gone to the range with on his YouTube channel. I'm just going to make that assumption. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't feel like Ben Shapiro's going to the range all that. So I don't know what this LARPy bullshit is about, like, being a real American or whatever. Like,
sport. Shooting is fun. It's something that you can do as a family. You can go to the shooting range and learn how to shoot well. It's also a really important thing for self-defense. As a woman, I think it's a really important way for me to defend myself, given that I will never be as strong as a man. So having access to a gun is something that allows me to protect myself. So as a real American, we should celebrate our Second Amendment. We should understand why it's so important that American citizens can own guns and own them responsibly, instead of ignoring how important.
Well, I'm glad you added responsibly, because a lot of people don't do that, and I think that should be a requirement.
This amendment is.
Kind of like the same way, the same way you have to drive responsibly. I think you should have to own a gun responsibly.
Number 3 is post one of your beliefs on Twitter.
Ooh.
Now, I think it's really important to celebrate that we have the First Amendment in this country.
I thought conservatives hated Twitter. Like, am I crazy? Aren't they all like, didn't Jordan Peterson just do a whole video bitching about Twitter? Like, I thought you guys hated Twitter. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But, like, I always thought Twitter was like fucking leftist hellscape or something. To these people, I don't know.
Country, free speech. And I think that so many of us still feel afraid to voice our opinions because our friends, our coworkers may not agree with us. So I can understand why you may not want to share publicly what you believe. But if there is something that you believe and that you think you should share, do it. Today is the day. Real Americans embrace free speech. And not only do they embrace free speech, but they embrace free speech for the people they disagree with. And that, I think, is the biggest.
Wait a minute. Two things. First thing, your free speech right now is being facilitated by, like, a very large platform, which is Twitter. So I don't know what this, like, you don't have a right to Twitter. Understand that. Twitter is the soapbox. You don't have a right to a soapbox. You have a right to stand on your own damn feet and say what you want, but you don't have a right to the soapbox. Also, what are we at, 426? Say that, bring that back for a second.
Not only do they embrace free speech, but they embrace free speech for the people they disagree with. And that, I think, is the biggest difference.
Okay, we're at 426.
Love this country.
So remember that. Remember, she just said that we protect free speech for the people we disagree with.
And you appreciate what it stands for. Many Americans nowadays, also known as leftists, want to tear down this country, and they...
So this is also one of those things where, this is what I mean, where they all will pretend like they will protect mine and other leftists' free speech. Not going to happen whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, they don't believe that we're real Americans. And guess what? When you're not a real American, when it doesn't matter that you're born here, if you're not born here, do you have if you're like an illegal immigrant, do you think these people think you have a right to free speech? No, those are for American citizens. But being an American citizen now no longer is even the test of being a real American to them. So if Abby thinks that I think she's going to defend my right to speech, fuck no. Hell no, not going to happen. No shot, because I'm not a real American to them. So, get out of here.
The biggest difference. Real Americans know that we all have the right to free speech. It's not just the people who I agree with. So write something that you believe and maybe hop over and see what other people are saying. And thank God that you live in a country where people can disagree with each other freely and openly. I just popped down.
Unless you're gay or trans, in which case you're not allowed to, what's the word? You're not allowed to express yourself in any kind of gay or trans or rainbow way in the state of Florida. Free speech, people. Free speech.
On the exposure, I didn't realize the lighting in this room has changed a bit throughout the day. So now the picture looks a little bit better. But number 4 is gather in prayer with your family. Real Americans love that we have freedom of...
Oh, wait a minute. So real Americans are the ones who are praying? I'm sorry, I thought we had a separation of church and state. Oh, no, just kidding. The Supreme Court actually gutted that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to assume anybody watching this knows what happened. But recently, the Supreme Court passed along a decision, or passed down a decision, whatever the fuck, that local governments are not allowed to discriminate against private institutions, including religious schools. And by discriminate, what they mean is, if you're a religious school or whatever, you can get funding from the government if you pass a certain basically format for your education. As long as you're teaching very basic things. I know I went to Catholic school, and basically the idea would be like, hey, if you're gonna be a religious school, if you're gonna have prayer, that's fine. You can, from what I understand, you can get some government funding, but it's not gonna be it isn't going to be as much as obviously normal public schools, but also it's going to be contingent on on if you're teaching things that are objective. You know, as long as you're not teaching exclusively creationism, then you should be fine. I could be wrong about that. I'm fairly certain I'm not, but I could be wrong about that. And even if I'm not, then the Supreme Court did rule. What they changed was that counties and who makes those decisions are basically not allowed to deny funds, basically forcing the state to fund religious and private institutions, essentially.
Of religion in this country. So gather with your family, say a prayer before you eat your July 4th barbecue, and thank God that you live in a country that has so many different people with so many different religious beliefs. Recently, Jacob and I had a get-together in our backyard with our friends. We had Catholics, we had Protestants, we had Jews, and that is the beauty of this country. Last but not least, to celebrate as a real American this July 4th, sing some patriotic songs.
American songs are the greatest, and I absolutely...
If you'd like to follow me on social media, it's at Classically Abby.
No. You got lucky because I wasn't paying much attention. No. We're not playing that game. All right. Anyway, we're done with that. So let's recap for a second here, because I think we need a bit of a recap. There we go. All right. I know I'm blocked. Look, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. All right. I'm not hurt by this at all. I'm like, kind of in the corner. That's okay. Perfectly okay. I'm not mad. Anyway, so my favorite thing is that I know this is like super shit. Here, we'll do this. Here. Oh wait, we need to erase this, don't we? Let's erase this. Get this out of here. Alright. To be a real American, one must know recognizing... I can't spell. No recognizing faults. There we go. That's what you need to do as an American. Oh yeah, number 2 was guns. What did she say number 3 was? Number 3 was because that's Twitter. There you go. Boom. The real true Americans post on Twitter. Now I don't know about you guys, but as a true American, we need to make this a 3, don't we? Oh man, look at that. Look at that amazing 3. We'll do this as like a 2. Yeah, to be a real American, you need to post on Twitter. You need to make sure that we all know what your thoughts are on Twitter. And number 4, wasn't it 5 things? Oh my goodness, I'm like blanking right now. Guys, I'm completely forgetting where okay. 1 second, we're gonna go back.
It's also a really important thing for self-defense. Having access to a gun, why it's so important, that's how
I don't get it. Why can't we have swords? I think swords are way cooler, by the way.
important.
Like, I don't know about you, but I would rather live in a society where people walk around with like katanas all day and like you have to learn and like train how to be good with that. Whereas like guns is some like simple shit. Like,
4 is gather in prayer with your family.
Oh, right. And then the last one, like singing. Right. Pray. God. There you go. And then we'll put 5 over here. Gotta love that. Sing. There you go. This is how you become a real American, people. This is how. In Abby Shapiro's world, this is how you become a real American. You never, ever admit America did anything wrong. That's the first step. Never do it. You never do it. Never do that. That 2. What do we got for 2? Guns. You must shoot guns. Not a real American. To be a real American, you have to have... You must recognize none of our faults. None of the mistakes we've made. You must shoot guns. For whatever reason... This is the weird one. For whatever reason, posting on Twitter is like a real American thing. You would think she'd say like Truth Social or one of like the conservative ones, but I'll give her credit. She went with Twitter. Anyway, what do we got next? Twitter. Oh yeah, God. Oh yeah, that whole separation of church and state thing. That's not a thing we have in this country. So that's not American right there. Boom. Got him. That's not American at all. Is River here? Oh, she's right there. I didn't even know she's right there. Yeah, she's like over there. Oh yeah, and you need to sing apparently. I honestly, this one I fully agree with. This one right here. This one, fully agree with. Go out and go sing. This is the only real American one. This is theocratic. This is theocratic bullshit. This is cringe. This is like ultra mega super cringe. And this one, it's just sad. It's just sad, really. That's all it really is. It's just sad. But yeah, that's Abby Shapiro. She is kind of an idiot and probably a fascist. I'm pretty safe in saying that. Most likely a fascist. Also, I really want... I'm not going to ever watch another video of hers until I see like a Abby and Ben go to the range. That's what I want to see. That right there is good content. I will watch that again. But yeah. So, gonna try to be on here a little bit more often. Also, gonna maybe get around to YouTube. I don't know. I've been really tired lately. This is going to go up on YouTube whenever I can edit it really quickly. But yeah, if you liked what you saw, if you enjoyed any part of it, of my ranting, then go ahead and follow on Twitch, and then go subscribe on YouTube. I'll put a little thing wherever that is on the YouTube version of this video. And do that so that I can do this more often and not whenever I just get time and I'm not super tired all. But yeah, everyone have a nice day.